EDIOS is a forward-minded software and technology services company. EDIOS services and solutions help clients implement business strategies, improve performance, increase efficiency, and deliver changes effectively. This includes managing projects, taking responsibility for business processes, and facilitating business growth through innovation and application of technology. EDIOS is having global presence in US and Europe. After logging into the app, user is provided with the main screen of the app. Now, by swiping from left side of the screen, user can view the menu options. From the top right corner, user can select a theme according to his or her choice, like Red Booster, Green Revolution or Blue Lagoon. By clicking on Add New button, a new patient can be enrolled. After clicking on Continue, user will be promoted to patient profile screen, in which he or she must enter profile related information, like title, first name of the patient, last name of the patient, address of the patient, date of birth of the patient from easily scrollable calendar, gender of the patient from drop-down menu, city of the patient, social security number of the patient, phone number of the patient. State of the patient can be selected from given drop-down menu, which contains almost every state of particular region. Zip code of the patient. Home number of the patient. This information of the patient will be stored locally as well as on the cloud. The screen contains some mandatory fields which are required to be entered, and user cannot go further without entering in those mandatory fields, such as first name, last name, and gender. If the user tries to skip any mandatory field, an error message will be displayed. The mandatory fields have an asterisk or a star symbol at the end of their labels. On clicking the Continue button, user will be provided with a screen which asks user for other patient information, like which physician has referred the patient. Then the user enters the name of his or her primary physician from whom he or she is being prescribed. User can submit emergency contacts also. In case of an emergency, those contacts will be used. User can enter the name of emergency contact person with the phone number in relation with user. User will be given option to enter employment information like employment status from the drop-down menu, employer's name and employer's phone number. None of the field is mandatory, and hence the user can leave the fields blank and proceed further. On the next screen, user will be asked to enter his or her insurance information, in which user has to enter the name of the insurance company, name of the policyholder, and its unique number or ID number, which is allotted by insurance company for the mentioned insurance policy. Also, the user has to enter the policyholder's social security number, which, in this case, is 1234567889, and his or her date of birth from a date picker. Group ID of the insurance policy. Relationship to the policyholder is selected from predefined relationships like brother, sister, mother, father, etc. If the user has another insurance policy with him or her, it can be entered in the screen, which also contains the same type of information which user has entered while entering primary insurance details like insurance company name for the mentioned insurance policy. Also, the user has to enter the social security number and his or her date of birth from a date picker. Group ID of the insurance policy. Relationship to the policyholder or self is entered if the policy is under his or her name. Secondary insurance is not mandatory to be entered, so user is not restricted to enter the secondary insurance details, and this screen can be skipped by clicking on the Continue button. After successful entering insurance information, user has to enter release of medical records, which contains all the information regarding medical record associated with the user, like patient name, address of the patient, date of birth of the patient from scrollable date picker, city or state or zip code of the location of the patient, social security number of the patient, patient's home number, and lastly name of the physician who is referring the patient. At the end of the screen, a declaration is displayed. A photocopy of this authorization shall constitute a valid authorization. It is automatically signed by the patient at a later stage, in which signature of the patient is captured. Note that the information entered in this screen or any other screen is just for demo purposes. The next screen asks for past cardiovascular history of the patient. On the next screen, past cardiovascular testing history will be asked from the user. In this screen, user enters the results of various testing history values like electron beam CT or calcium score, 24-hour rhythm monitor, Holter, event monitor, echocardiogram, stress test, stress echocardiogram and cardiac catheterization. If the user selects the No option, the corresponding fields like value, year and outcome will be disabled. The next screen, which the user will be presented to enter the information, is past cardiovascular history, in which user can enter various medications which he or she is taking or has been taking. User has to select one option from medication drop-down menu in order to enter the information regarding medications. Medication information like name of the medication, dose of the medicine, repetitions in a day, approximate start date of using that medicine, reason for taking that medication has to be entered. If the user wants to add another medication, he or she can select yes in add more medication drop-down field. Then user can enter same type of information which he or she has entered in the previous medication like name of medicine, duration, reason etc. At most 5 medications can be entered by the user. In this case, user has entered details of 2 medications. After adding medication, user has to select usage of tobacco from options like former, present or never. Like in this case, if the user selects the never option, the other field like how many packs per day and how long are disabled. On the next screen, allergies and sensitivity of a user is collected like if user is allergic to any medicine, iodine, latex, shellfish, and if user has entered yes for any option, user can enter the reactions for that allergy. Patient has to enter any known drug allergies. On clicking continue, the next screen will be pharmacy information, in which user will be asked questions about his or her prescription, how often he or she fills his or her prescription. Next question will be if the patient fills the prescription through mail order or not. Afterwards, the screen named Acknowledge of Receipt will be displayed, which asks for names and relationships of the persons which the user wants to authorize for use of the health information entered by him or her. Up to 4 names and the relationships of the patient to the persons can be entered in the screen. As this is required by federal law, user has to provide the names of the persons to authorize them to disclose the health information. If user has any questions regarding this privacy notice, he or she may contact the privacy officer. This acknowledges that the patient has received this notice of privacy practices and he or she understands that if he or she has any questions regarding this notice, he or she may contact the privacy officer. On the next screen, user has to draw his or her signature. Done button is to be pressed, which will show the preview of the captured signature. Then continue button takes to the next screen. Click done to complete the participation. Reviewer has to enter the password for further procedure to view the list of all the enrolled patients. On clicking sync subject button, all the information of the particular subject is synchronized. It may take a few moments depending on the information and the speed of your internet connection. Make sure that the internet is stable before synchronizing the patient details to the server. At this time, all the details entered by the patient as well as the signature of the patient, which is an image file, is synchronized to the server for later retrieval. After the synchronization, the generation of PDF file takes place. PDF file is generated on the server and is downloaded to the device for viewing, emailing and printing. When syncing is complete, several options are shown like email, view, and print. PDF can be emailed to one or more email addresses. Clicking on View PDF button opens the file in the PDF application like Adobe Reader. All the information that has been entered by the user will be displayed in the PDF format with beautiful layout and simplistic manner. On pressing back button of the device, home screen is displayed. By clicking on search button, previously entered information of the patients can be viewed and edited. When View button is pressed, PDF of the corresponding patient is downloaded to the device and can be emailed, printed or viewed. Downloading PDF may take several moments as it is dependent on the speed of the internet connection. Please make sure your internet speed is good. Print PDF button is used to print the file using the printer attached to the network. Edit button is used for updating or changing the information previously entered by the patient. Click Yes to do the same. All the steps will be played again like before but with already filled information. User can edit any information according to his or her need. If the user has gone to the next screen but remembers later that he or she has to change the information in the previous step, it can be done through the application. To go back one or more steps, the back button is pressed, which is present on the top left corner of the application to go to previous step one by one. In this case, user has felt that he or she has entered incorrect date of birth, so it can be corrected at any later time. The correct date will be updated and overwritten on the previous birth date, and changes will be reflected in the patient information form. Like in this example, user is editing date of birth of himself and other people mentioned in the entered information form. If the user does not want to change any information, he or she can move to the next step by clicking on Continue button without editing any value. Also, if the patient wants to delete or remove any information from the form upright instead of changing the information, it can also be done just by removing the characters from the field and pressing Continue button. Let's take another case, like if the user wants to authorize his sister instead of his brother. He or she can do so by updating the name and relationship of the person, and this will be updated in the record of the patient stored on the server and shown in edited PDF. On the next screen, user has to draw his or her signature once again for security purposes. Click the Continue and Done button. Next, the patient returns the device to the reviewer, and the reviewer will enter the password to synchronize the updated information to the server. To do so, click on Sync Subject button to send all the information that has been changed by the user. It will be sent to the server for PDF generation. This may take some time to upload, generate and download PDF file. Again, remember that downloading PDF file may take a couple of minutes as it is dependent on the speed of the internet connection. Please make sure that you have good internet strength. By clicking on View PDF button, user can view the PDF in any of the installed PDF application like Adobe Reader. Now see that the name and the relationship that has been edited in the form is changed in the new PDF file. On the main screen, user can have a larger view of title image of the form. When user is done with enrollment process, application can be logged out by clicking on Log Out button on the drawer from left side. Please submit your feedback on our link edios.global web link. Thanks for watching the demo video.